Hi, I'm just waiting for Omkar and Huafrid to join. Then we'll start with a formal intro with both Omkar and Huafrid. Those who have already joined, yeah, I
Hello.
can say hi. So we have, I'm just waiting for Omkar to join. Huafrid is with us, and this is our Sunday 4 p.m. live on Cyclology page, and I am Pedal Pal, as most of you know me. And Huafrid has done a marvelous achievement in Dubai. I think Omkar is joining. So yeah, hi, hello, Omkar, hello Huafrid.
Hi.
Hi. So just let me start with the formal introduction. Omkar and Huafrid, they have done a marvelous achievement in Dubai a couple of weeks back. It was Dubai Ironman 70.3, and Huafrid is the first Indian PWD to win, at least to get a podium. It is as good as win as an Indian. So congratulations first, both Huafrid and Omkar had assisted him all the way to the podium, from his training to his podium. So we'll first hear how it all started. Omkar, can you tell us a bit more? Then Huafrid can add how you started the training and when you started planning, if you can tell us. Cannot hear you, Omkar, much.
You. No, Omkar, you're not audible.
Yeah,
Hello, am I audible now?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Audible.
That's the best thing. Yeah,
Okay,
without
cool.
any setup. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Sure. So, firstly, I would like to introduce myself.
Yeah,
So, myself, Omkar Jokar. I am from Pune only, and I have started triathlon training from last 3 years, and till now I did many triathlons: half Iron distance, full Iron distance, Olympic distance, marathons, then 5 kilometer swimathons or Everesting, almost all the events. And I am training for the sub 10 full Iron, so I am training for it. And parallelly, I am training with Huafrid Billimoria. So he will introduce himself. So I assist him in his races. So we train together. So since last 6 months, we are training for this half iron and as well as full iron, which is we are going to attempt at South Africa. So we are all set for it, and we train together in Pune. Basically, Huafrid is from Mumbai, but he came every weekend to Pune to train with us, and then he go back. So there is a lot of struggle, but yeah, we do it. And we are coached by Chaitanya Velal from Power Peaks team. So he gives us all the training plans and all. So accordingly, we follow it and we train for it. Yeah, that's it. So who of it? It's over to
that's
you.
great. That's great. And those who don't know Huafrid, he is not only a triathlete. He is one of the motivational speakers, and the rest Huafrid can take it from me. Huafrid, just carry on how you conceptualized this Ironman, because you have been a cyclist, you have been an open water swimmer. We know about all these things. So when did you think that you can do an Ironman?
So it all started, first of all, yeah, Huafrid here, and, 26-year-old triathlete from Mumbai. As Omkar said, that I've been training in Pune. As and when, there are a lot of struggles, especially me being in Mumbai, the coach being in Pune. So that is a struggle. Regardless, we get the time, we put in the work. It's sometimes almost for a full Ironman, we train almost 20 hours a week. which is quite a lot. Even for someone without a disability, it's quite a lot, you know. But someone with a disability, it's 10 times more debilitating. So that's just how it is. Um, so yeah, the goal and how I led up to competing or planning or training for an Ironman was that. So I mean, a lot of doctors, you know, put a lot of things on my plate, and they were saying that, you know, you won't be able to walk, you won't be able to do day-to-day work, stuff like that. So that's the time when I got into running. I couldn't even run properly for 5 kilometers. Like, running is the most difficult for me, so I started doing that the most, you know. So what was difficult for me, I started doing that more and more and more. Um, from falling down 5 kilometers to actually completing my first marathon, half marathon, with a time of 2 hours 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Then I was like, okay, you've done this. Now what else? What else can you actually do? What is the add on this? I was a decent swimmer. So then I was like, okay, we can become a better swimmer. So I became a better swimmer. I learned freestyle properly at the age of 21, 22. Then I started taking part in these small distances of 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers swims, you know, open water swims. And then later on, I was like, okay, now this distance is not much. Then I got into long distance endurance swimming. So I swam for 5 kilometers. I've done 2 10 kilometer open water sea swims, one sea swim, one lake swim, and all this was to raise awareness in Indian society about people with disabilities. You know, so that was my whole concept. This is why I do what I do, to raise awareness, because I think, you know, I always say this, that we as India and Indian society is very far away from inclusion. Okay, we just like to be inclusive, but it actually it's not happening, and it's not there. So that's why I do what I do to actually raise awareness. Um, and a lot of people with disabilities, they just talk, you know, but what are you doing with and why will people listen to you? So I think that's how I got into swimming and running, you know, distance. Over the time, then I completed endurance, long distance endurance swims, and long distance running. So like maximum of 42, I've done a 42 kilometer run, you know, full marathon. And I was always a decent cyclist, you know. So I was like, okay, now you said that an Ironman. What is an Ironman? It's a 1.9 kilometer sea swim or open water open water swim, then a 90 kilometer bike ride, and then a 21 kilometer run, and that is just half an hour. So I was like, okay, I mean, I have this goal to do it. Unfortunately, I started Ironman Goa, which was the first one happening in India. And then I was like, and then COVID hit. So again, a lot of challenges and struggles, especially with the training and stuff like that. But regardless, you know, the whole goal was to go for it, and get on with it, complete the goal. So we completed it in Goa, in Dubai, and that was my first official Ironman 70.3. And yeah, I mean, I became the fastest with it. Not only that, we got a podium. So I guess that's like icing on the cake, you know. And yeah, I'm here, but I guess you're out there. We're here
Great.
doing what?
Great. And I can see Chai has just joined, and Chaitanya also said he is the biggest fan of Hufu. Okay. And Omkar, can you just
Yeah,
tell me that you had a crash? Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So how did, at that point of time, how did Hufu manage? So can you just tell me about that?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So actually, I had crashed during 80th kilometer mark. So at that
Right.
time I was grabbing the zipper, but the volunteer he just held it very strongly. So I got the jerk and just flipped. So 2-3 turns taken, and I just had fall on my left arm. So my elbow, below elbow, couldn't move my arm. So it was actually hairline fracture, but I didn't realize at that time. So I was not able to move my arm, and also my bike was fully that handlebar was twisted. So there was technical issue. So I had to manage it also. So at that time I told Huafrid to go ahead, so and finish the bike. Then I said him that I will join him on the run. So he went ahead. So last 10 kilometers he did on his own, and then at that time I fixed my bike by opening the handlebar and resetting it, and then I managed to ride remaining 10 kilometers with my single arm, and then finished my bike. At that time when I had fall, the volunteer said me that bro, don't give up, you will do it, and he was trying to encourage me. But I said no, I am not going to give up, don't worry. If my bike couldn't yeah, fix, then I will run remaining distance, but I will finish it, and I will help him. So that's how I
That's the
started,
spirit.
and yeah, so I
That's
finished
the
my bike,
spirit.
and then I saw him who was in transition area only. So then we started the run and finished it. And then I went to the medical station and checked it. So doctor just said me that bones are not broken. It might be sprain. So he just wanted it. And when I came back to India, then I did X-ray. Then I got to know that it's a hairline fracture. So just and he said it's not so major, so it will recover in 2-3 weeks. So we can be I can do South Africa without any hesitation. Just I need to do indoor training and all. That's all.
So, South Africa Ironman is in which month? It's in,
Next month only, on 3rd April.
yeah, on April, 3rd
Yeah,
April,
we need
right?
to fly on 13 March.
Okay. And Huafrid, if you can tell me that how tough Chai or Chaitanya as a coach for Ironman, how tough he is. We have all heard that he has made Power Peaks as a powerhouse of all Ironman in India. That is his motto, that Power Peaks will one day produce maximum Ironman of India. So, how tough he is, or how tough is the whole Power Peaks concept to become an Ironman? Because I can see lots of questions already. People are asking when to start, how to start, nutrition, and everything. So if you can just give us a quick review of Power Peaks or Chai or your present coach or your co athlete Omkar. Just share your experience about the coaching and the training part.
Wait. I just want to correct one sentence there. You told that how PowerPix is going to create maximum Ironmans from India. Actually, PowerPix is not aiming for creating maximum Ironmans. So, PowerPix gives power to you to do the Ironman with the record time or those kind of things. So we are specialized in making records and all to give best of best from you, not just finishing the Ironman. So that's what I
It is,
think.
it is quality over quantity. That's
Yeah, exactly.
who focuses on. It's not only the quantity or just you completing and crossing or dragging across the finish line like a a skeleton. We don't want that. We want you to finish the event with a smile and a strong finish. So you should be able to at least run for 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers after an Ironman event. That is the time when you can actually say that you're well trained. Otherwise, it's like you are not well trained enough. You know, regardless this being an endurance sport, it is any which way is very difficult. Okay, it's not that easy. There are a lot of things which can go wrong, and but if you train, everything can go right. Also, um, regardless, I mean, as a coach, especially with endurance sports, you need to be tough. It's not like with endurance sports, it's not like you'll just wish it and it'll happen. You need to put in the hours. Early mornings. Sometimes you do not get proper sleep, but you yet get up, put in the work and stuff like that. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be handed to you on a platter. Especially if you want a good time and you want to finish and stuff like that. That's just how it is, you know. Now, at last, how much are you willing to put in to actually sacrifice what not, and I mean, to sacrifice how much and to reach your goals, that depends on you. So that's how it is. So yeah, Coach Chai as a coach, he's strict. He's a tough taskmaster. But isn't that what is required for you to actually succeed? So that is sort of required for you to actually reach there and to reach the pinnacle of the sport. So he is tough, but the thing is, if you listen to him and if you put whatever he's saying to practice, you know, even when you're tired, exhausted, having off days, not feeling like it, and if you're ready to push your limits, there will be a time where, you know, you'll remember his words and you'll be like, okay, wow, now at the event or during the event, I'm finding it easy. Like, we had this experience, me and Omkar. There was this very unexperienced participant with us. You know Omkar, who we are talking about. We won't name that person, of course, but he was very new to it. And he just woke up and he came to Ironman Dubai to do it, you know. But here, me and Omkar, we raced together. We have practiced together. Omkar has observed me in training a lot. He knows what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and stuff like that. There are a lot of things, you know, which we we did in trial and error in training itself, you know, in the rigorous training, you know. Um, and then we went and we took part in Ironman Dubai. But whereas this person who had come over there, at last he couldn't complete the swim itself because he didn't have that much race practice. Um, he didn't have that much exposure,
True.
you know.
True.
All
Mm.
that matters. Race experience matters. Your nutrition matters. Your discipline matters. Even when you're having an off day, how ready are you to put yourself over there? That matters. All of that matters. Small things matter. So it's very tough. It's
Right.
very difficult.
And another question that we have already found on our chat box is that during the training, the preparation part, how do you keep yourself motivated? I mean,
Okay.
the mental strength part.
So for me, it is basically I had a tough childhood, so that's what actually keeps me going. For some other person, it might be something else. For me, it is like I've had a tough childhood, so I mean, all the naysayers, you know, I mean, that's what runs in my head, and that's what drives me to do the impossible and to do such stuff. So it's all like it depends on your own. It depends on your own things and your own body and your own and what works for you, you know. Simple. That's just how it is. For me, my past is like my fuel to race. My past is like my fuel, which I drive my car to actually achieve what I am today. You know. So yeah, that's just it.
I think that I cannot find Omkar. Omkar
Omkar,
is trying to rejoin.
yeah,
Yeah,
Hello.
Omkar. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Please.
had some issues.
No, it's all right. So there might be some network issues, connectivity issues. It's all fine. So I was just asking Huapit about the mental preparation, the mental strain, the motivational part during training. So Omkar, can you
Hmm.
just tell us about your experience? How do you, because you have already done lots of Ironman events as well as lots of triathlon events, not only Ironman
Yeah.
in India and abroad. So can you just tell us about the motivational part during training? How do you motivate yourself? How do you gain on mental strength? That is important as well as physical strength. So can you just tell us about that? Because you have got a question on the chat box, so that's why I'm asking it.
Okay. Sure. So during training days or whenever even when we are racing, so we just need to remember that why we are doing this and for whom we are doing this, or we just need to do that WW questions we need to ask for ourselves, like why we are doing this, the reason behind it. So for this time for Dubai, we were doing it for the impact, for the social impact, and that's why we were doing. So even when I had crashed, I asked myself why I'm doing this. So I was on mission to help him to finish the finish line to Huaprid. So that's how I told myself, and then woke up and then did hold the distance with the broken arm. So it gives us the power. So we just need the strong willpower in this endurance sport. Even any endurance sport, not only triathlon. If you take long ultra distance cycling or running, any game, so it all depends on how strong willpower you are having. So that's how we can overcome over this. Even in the training days and all, if we have proper diet, proper rest, or proper training we are doing, then also maybe with some family problems or any other issues can bother us in training with the mental aspect. So we just need to overcome over it by doing the continuous training and just neglect some part of it. So that's how we can train for it. In case of Huafrid, what was happening? So he gets easily negative thoughts during his run part or in the triathlon after swimming and cycling. When fatigue is more, then his body also gives cramps and all. So we need to overcome over it. So I need to talk him in positive ways. Need to motivate him, continuous chatting. Then he also do self talking a lot. So then it helps him if it is in positive way. So that's how we keep conversation on during entire run. So it helps us to finish it.
Great. And there is a question that any specific diet you have taken for this event, Huaprid or Omkar, if you can
Uh,
add.
so see, a diet is very person centric and person specific. Regardless, your recovery needs to be right. That's the most important, and that is basics. You have your protein. You have a good, rich protein diet, and of course, you carb load. Before an event, especially you carb load, and especially in the event week, you usually start carb loading at that point of time. It depends again from person to person. Some people carb load before 3 days, some people do it only 2 days, some people do it 4 days. So it depends from person to person, and that mere nutrition will be able to actually tell you that. Regardless, recovery is very important in endurance sports. So that means a good 8 hours of sleep, and yeah, and a good diet, a good healthy diet, and of course you need to have your protein, intake right. I read this question. So, how do you manage a corporate job with an Ironman? Yes, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. There are a lot of people who have a corporate job who are doctors also. I mean, being doctors is more difficult, than a
To get
corporate job
time.
and
Uh,
doing an Ironman. It's insane because you're in and out of surgery rooms, you're in and out of so many things. Um, I mean, it's crazy. So, I mean, there are always makeshift options like a treadmill, like then after like an indoor trainer, a direct drive indoor trainer. So all these things can actually help you train indoors, and whenever you get the time, and usually doctors, the best time to train is early morning. So I'm pretty sure from at least corporate people from 5 to 7 or 5 to 8, you will not get a job call or stuff like that. That much time you have for yourself. So you
right.
can always do that point of time. You can always take that point of time, and you can always swims if you want after your work. If you have the time. So that's how it runs. How difficult is it to train for a half? It's not that difficult to train for a half Ironman, but it becomes challenging if you want to train for a full Ironman. It becomes 10 times more challenging if you want to train for a full Ironman rather than a half one. A half one also requires a lot of consistency, a lot of training in and out, and at least requires, I would say, training for at least 12 to 15 hours a week. I think so. Omkar will be able to add upon that also.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to add some points about last question as well. That how do you manage your full-time corporate job with Ironman preparation? Actually, I am mechanical engineer, and I was doing a job in Tata Motors. So actually, last year I quit the job, but before that also, for last 2 years, I was doing job as well as doing training. But it is possible to manage it. I was working shifts morning 6 to 3 o'clock. There was first shift, and or in second shift I was working like 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I was training in the opposite time of the day. So we have proper time actually in our daily life, but we just need to manage it properly. So if you check person to person, everyone uses phone and even other social media and all. So everyone's screen time is almost like 3 4 hours plus only. So if you take out time from your those non important activities and do the training, so daily 1 to 2 hour training is also enough. And on the weekends you need to spend like 3 to 5 hours. So that is also enough if you just want to finish the triathlon. That's what I think. So if you want to go for any target and all, you need to just give some more time. So, but we need to manage we need to do properly time management for it. That's what I think. Yeah, and how many hours you dedicate in a week for your training? Dedicated. Yeah, so normally I also train like 15 to 20 hours per week. So the same thing about Huafrid. So that is enough for doing full Ironman.
For half,
I can.
for half it can be 10. 10
Yeah, 10 to 15 hours is enough.
15 hours is good enough for half.
Yeah, yeah.
So the first step to actually get yourself going over there is, I believe, the major part and the major time where you can save is running and cycling. Those are the major places where you can really save a lot of time. You know, so the more fast you get in that aspect of the journey, the better it is. The peak swimmers always get better when you see, since a triathlon has three segments to it. You're very lucky. You can divide your time and you can really get better at whatever you are the weakest at. Regardless, the stuff what you can save the maximum time on will always be the run and the bike, because it is the longest, and it is the time where you can actually become the fastest also. In the swim, you'll only be able to save few minutes, but on a bike and on the run, if you get good at it, you can almost save an hour or an hour plus.
Yeah, but one should know how to swim also. So if anyone want to start triathlon, so then he should join the pool and take a local coach for it for learning the freestyle or for the breaststroke. So firstly learn the stroke, then slowly work on the endurance and slowly build your endurance. Then you can swim and parallelly you can do your bike and run workouts alternate days and some brick workouts on weekends. Brick workouts means doing running immediately after you are cycling. So that will help you for the triathlons. So that's how one can start for the Ironman.
Any other question, anyone? Cyclology on your chats, on your WhatsApp groups. Any other question for Omkar or Huafrid? And in the meantime, can you just tell us about your preparation for the South Africa Ironman?
We are all set for the South Africa. Just my arm is recovering, so one more week. One more week required for me. I'm not able to straighten my arm.
Yeah,
And
network
Huafrid,
issues.
yeah, you continue, Huafrid. Yeah.
So I think so. So Omkar, that his arm will take 1 more week to recover. We are planning like one big session the next week. It's gonna be like the biggest session for us. So we'll try racing together. How much ever we can get. Like we'll try getting race stimulation. So basically, exactly like race environment training in Pune. Yeah, a lot of stuff will be added to it and stuff like that. Of course, heat becomes a major factor, you know, running and cycling in the heat, you know, especially if it's someone like me, because my dystonia becomes worse when I'm dehydrated, and when I cramp up. So I cramp up way more than you or any regular person running, you know. So when I actually put that much more effort into running or cycling or swimming, I have more chances of cramping up very badly. And then, you know, it can sabotage a race completely. So we got to be very careful of when to push and when not to push.
True.
And yeah, we're doing a lot. Hopefully, we are set back. Fingers crossed.
Omkar, can you just tell us about one thing? Is that in Pune and in Mumbai also? So now Pune has become a hub of training for Ironman. So,
Yes.
so what is the ecosystem? Just I want to know, because uh, there are lots of other cities in India, but unlike Pune, there is no such city where there is a superb ecosystem for triathlons. Uh, we have lots of triathletes from Pune only, from Pune Mumbai region, I would say. But I have seen like people like Huafrid, and there are lots of athletes like others. They come to Pune for training on weekends
Yeah, yeah.
and all this. So, how have you all managed to make this ecosystem for triathletes? Can you just tell us about
Actually,
this? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So there are many factors. If you see the road conditions and all, if you compare between Mumbai and Pune, then Pune, you will see many main roads are there, like highways, Mumbai highway or Solapur highway, or you are towards Khambatki, Kolhapur. So there are really good roads for doing cycling and all. So it is safe as also as compared to Mumbai. If you go in Mumbai, then you can't find any road to do cycling and all. You just need to do indoor and indoor. That's it. Even for the open water sources as
So
well.
you are saying,
Even in Pune,
yeah. So
lakes and all are there.
yeah, that's an
So
advantage. Yeah, we have the
yeah,
ghat
yeah. So
sections and everything, so that
yes,
we
yes,
can
yes.
do hilly
Obviously.
feats.
Yes, yes, yes. There are so many hills. Then lakes also. So you can do to Kasasai Lake or Hadshi Lake. There are many lakes. So for open water option as well. So environmentally, it is good for doing training and all. And then other factors, you can see the coaches. There are many coaches in Pune for the coaching academy and all. Then the many groups are there for doing cycling or for running or a triathlon as well. So basically, triathlon sport is new to the country. You can say in other regions like other districts or other states. So actually it is grooming right now. So slowly people are following, taking inspiration from each other and starting the training and all. So that's how it is building. Then the main factor comes with the financial aspect as well. So that what I think in the other regions or in some you can find out talent everywhere, but financially also triathlon is the expensive sport rather than cycling, rather than running and swimming. So you need to invest on bike. Then with the even if you want to do Ironman, then the registration costs or other costs are also there. So people think before signing it or doing the triathlon. So that is also one factor. Uh, Triathlon, but still it is taking time, and yeah, it will happen that everywhere we can see the boom
Right,
of triathlon in India.
right. And
You want to add something? Okay.
yeah, and I think that you need specific tri bikes also for that.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
who are
If you want to target
yeah.
some time, then you need to have TT bikes. Otherwise, you can do one normal road bike or hybrid as well.
And
Ironman.
there is a question that what is the approximate expenses for a triathlon event in India, and then it comes to Ironman.
So when it comes to Ironman, the entry fees depends from each Ironman specific host country. Okay, but minimum, I mean, the entry fee is 35,000 plus. Okay, for each Ironman at least minimum. I'm saying, and then comes the travel expenditure, the visa expenditure, the hotel stay, all of that. Local events like Ironman Goa, which is going to open up soon. or local Ironman event like Ironman like Bergman, you know. So an Ironman Goa would be the entry fee is 25,000. It was last year, so 2 years back. Now it might have increased. And a Bergman event that I think so Omkar would be able to say better.
Yeah,
And
Omkar would be able to say better because Omkar has also partly organized last year's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
triathlon here in Pune, right?
So
That
if you
was
see what he offered was explaining, it was about just event. So if you want to do international event, Ironman event, then yeah, obviously your costing will be around 1 to 1.5 lakh just for doing the event. But yeah,
right.
the main expense of triathlon is about the training or the gears and all those things. So that things matters a lot because you can do local events also like Bergman, yeah, Kolhapur triathlon events or Powerthon, which is organized by Power Peaks. So
Mm.
there are many events which are happening in India. So if you want to do those events, so expenses will be around 10 to 20,000 overall expense for the event. But for the equipments and all, like for the you need a road bike or a TT bike. If you go to for the buying a bike, you can get a road bike in 20,000 also or in 20 lakhs also. So it's
Right.
totally depends on the budget of the person that how much he want to invest. Same with all the gears for taking Garmin watch or for running shoes or all the dry suits and all. So there are many equipment. So total still in 1 to 1.5 lakh, yeah, you can do a triathlon. The basic budget, if you say, check, so at least that much you need to invest.
Especially the training part. You need to,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, you need to put in more money for the training part, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then your
Because,
diet, nutrition,
right,
everything matters.
right. Because triathlon is only for a day. It might be a 24-hour thing, but the training, the preparation would
Yeah,
be
the
at least
journey, that
6
trial
months
journey,
journey,
actually
right?
that's the lifestyle.
The journey to the podium.
Yeah.
That's great. And any other questions, psychology, if you have got on your chat box?
there's one that what was our average speed on the bike? So in
Yeah.
Ironman, average speed on our bike was 28 kmph. We could have done it more if the crash wouldn't have happened. If the crash wouldn't have happened, we could have easily completed it under 3 hours, the bike route. So I guess that's that. We're quite happy though with the bike split because the bike split was quite fast. So yeah, we are aiming for a quick bike split in South Africa too. You know, because now we are prepared. We exactly know we've trained in events and stuff like that, so that is not an issue. Only thing will be, which will be a challenge for us, which even Omkar knows and we know, is that the full marathon after the swim and the bike is usually
Yeah,
every even an able-bodied athlete struggles.
exactly.
So
Yeah, yeah,
someone like me, it becomes even more difficult when I do not have my footing or stepping right or my form right because of involuntary movements and because of the cramping and the twitching and the trembling. It becomes even more difficult for someone like me. So that is the time when I require someone like Omkar. Besides, why? Because anything can happen. I can faint. I can get convulsions. I can black out.
True.
If my this drop, or I can just anything can happen. So that is one of the areas where Omkar is very strong as an athlete in the run, and that is the place where he can really assist more than ever, and especially on the bike also he assists a lot, with nutrition. So like I cannot, like how y'all just pick up a sipper and just sip on it. I can't do that. I have to carry a backpack, which is like a 1.5 liter backpack behind, and then I have to, manage to do that. It's very difficult. It's not easy. So
Right.
those points where Omkar really comes in the picture and he
Mm.
helps me out with all of that. I cannot eat on the bike. He has to literally put food in my mouth or give it to me or something like that. Otherwise, if I leave the handles, I can fall, which
Mm.
other athletes don't do. Or can do it with ease, So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, there is one question for me, like how much downtime did you take for your arm? So
Mm,
actually, doctor recommended me 3 week rest. I went for visit on 10th, so almost 30 March till 30 March I need to take rest. But yeah, he said me that I can do indoor training, indoor cycling and all. So last week only I did my 6 hour ride and then
mm,
run also for the 10 kilometers. So I'm doing my training, indoor training. Just I'm not able to swim because I can't straighten my arm. So, but still, I went to pool and I did kicking and all. So one arm drills that I could do. So I did that. But otherwise, I can't ride outdoor and all.
mm.
So that's okay. But I'm taking rest for it, and I'm damn sure that I can do full iron without this with 20 days rest as well. So yeah,
Good, good. No, no. Of course you can. I mean, you have got proper rest, and now I think Huafid is going to aim for gold. Is it? That is the,
That's the goal.
yeah. That's the goal. It should be the goal for any athlete.
yeah,
That,
Good.
Okay, there was one question in the chat section which is asking that can we go directly for a full Ironman or we should go for half Ironman first and then full Ironman? What should be the journey?
well, I would personally suggest from an athlete point of view, you always go for an Olympic distance, which is a 1.5 kilometer swim. Then is a 40
40
kilometer,
kilometer of bike
and
and
then
then 10 kilometer of run.
I would start off from there. Of course, there's a shorter distance than that also, which is called a sprint triathlon.
Then, yeah.
So if you're really not confident, you can go for a sprint triathlon. If you are decently confident, you can go for Olympic distance triathlon. Always do a half distance triathlon before completing a full distance triathlon. I would never ever suggest you to just get up from your sleep, train for a full triathlon or a full Ironman, and then only go for a full Ironman. I personally wouldn't do that. Of course, people are different. Each individual has their own choice, but I would never do that. Maybe Omkar has different ways or different things or different. He must be having a different thinking, but this is me, and I like to take it systematic, step by step, and that's what's helped me grow as an athlete. I don't know about Omkar and what Omkar will suggest at least.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
Omkar will also suggest the same, like systematic
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. What he
Yeah.
is saying, it is actually correct. We need to go step by step from sprint to Olympic to half to full. When I did my first triathlon, I went for 70.3 directly for half iron. Actually, I didn't know much more about triathlons and at that time. So I just I just started the training and even in 2 months only I did my first 70.3. But yeah, it was very hectic for me. Back was aching and all. I was not smiling at the finish line because I knew that how much pain I had within that time. But after that, I realized what mistake Ironman Goa, and I improved a lot in within 1 year when I got training from the Chaitanya coach Chaitanya. So that's what. But there is no any thumb rule like someone can't do full iron directly. One can do full iron directly, but he need to train properly for it. It's not like that. Ki just woke up and went for the event. So if he give like 1 to 2 years of the training, properly training for that particular event, then he can do. But within the training, he need to do some mock test like. Doing brick workouts, long brick workouts like 6 hour ride, 3 plus 3 hour run, or kind of workouts, long rides and all. If someone gets properly trained, then he can do full iron as well in first attempt. That's what. But yeah,
But it's
the
difficult.
perfect way
Yeah.
is what Huafrid is saying. Yeah,
Yes. No coach would recommend that to go for a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
full Ironman the first time,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, but there are some people who say just I just want to do that only. But okay,
A lot
this is doable. There are many people who did in first attempt only. Well, yeah, totally depends person to person.
Yes, Wilfried, you're telling us something.
No, I mean there are a lot of athletes who are actually adamant that they only want to do a lot of like we just want to do a full distance only, and they are adamant towards that, and that's just what they want to do. That's their goal. But what I believe is that you require a lot of race experience, because if you do not get race experience, there are issues like, what if there's a puncture? What if what if your nutrition is not on point? What if there are so many things which can go wrong,
Right.
which you only realize in a race. So I guess that is why race experience and race practice is very important before we build up towards a full Ironman, because there are almost 10 to 20 things which can go wrong. Everything can go wrong at any point, from the swim to maybe 2, 3 punches on the bike, to maybe you cramping up completely on the first 10 kilometers, and then how are you going to do your 30, 35, 40 kilometers after that? There are so many questions and so many uncertainties, because you're putting your body at the test for almost 14 to 16 hours, depending upon how you're finishing. It's not easy, You got to be prepared. You got to train when you are sick also, because there might be times where you will actually develop GI issues, which a lot of endurance athletes develop. But you need to be ready with that, train with cramping and all of that. And only then actually can you successfully do a full Ironman.
Right. Any other questions, psychology?
Okay, yeah. One more question in the chat room that I think basically Cyclology is a cycling oriented group. So they are asking that when we train in the highways or something, so what should be the average speed during those events, maybe 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, which we normally go for, that will ensure that we are trained enough or we are on the correct path for Ironman. What should be the average speed we should maintain in that trainings?
Actually, what I think about this question, average speed doesn't matter for you need to start triathlon or not. So it may vary person to person, or the day when you are doing that time trial, the wind condition, or there may be many factors for that your speed. So it is nothing like that. If you are 30 plus, then only you can go for triathlon, or yeah. Actually, that is not the factor, correct factor to define if you need to do triathlon or what. It's just about your. If you take the target, you want to do triathlon, you can start. It's not dependent on speed. So you need to know that you are able to swim or not, or how is your run. Then you can start slowly, do your runs and all. Check your form if you are able to do the proper freestyle swimming or breaststroke swimming, whatever stroke you want to prefer. But yeah, freestyle is always better because it's faster and it takes less energy. So slowly you need to step on with
And
all three
especially in the
legs,
open
not only the
water.
cycling.
Especially in
Sorry.
the open water.
Yeah. Even in
The
open water,
freestyle.
not only the only pool practice will not help you because you are just
Right.
following the lane. So you don't know how
Right.
to do sighting and all. So you need to practice in open waters as well because water is totally black and you can't see where you are going. So you just need to do proper sighting after every 8 to 10 stroke. So you need to practice that as well for the triathlon. So there are many factors actually. So not only speed will not reflect that.
So I would just have to add one thing to it. Speed doesn't matter. The only thing which matters is your training and how you are training. Be comfortable in the aero position, on your tri bars. On your aero bars. Okay. Be comfortable with high cadence, be comfortable with, because you need to last for a long period of time. So cadence becomes very important, because in a full Ironman you're doing 180 kilometers after a 3.9 kilometer swim. That's not easy. You need to preserve your legs. So a high cadence helps you. You train right, you train smart. You don't train like a fool. That is way more important than your absolute speed which you're going to maintain. I never maintained an absolute speed for 30 kilometers, 20 kmph. I had never done that. But in the event, with my training, with my all of that was on speed, with the cadence, with my bike fit, with all that. But I actually pushed my limits during an event, and I cracked up PB or 100 kmph, in an event itself. So it's all about training, right? Then you know, yeah. So that's and then right.
That's good.
There was one.
I think Omkar, some background noise from I think from your side or from
Omkar,
Huafrid's side.
Omkar
Actually,
seems to
there
be,
Is
was
it
one.
fine now?
yeah, Omkar seems
Hello?
to be at Omkareshwar. Is it?
Hello?
Yeah, Omkar. Now,
I think it is
now
better. It is
yeah,
better. Yeah.
it's better.
There was one technical question that whether we should work more on the weakest part of our try, bike, swim, or ride, or we should make our good part or our strong point more better. What strategy works?
You gotta train your weakest part, the better. Okay. So for me, it is running. So I'm very good at swimming, and I can actually give anyone, I mean, a good fight in both, but in the run part, I'm very bad. So what I would do is I would train my running, okay, and get to a particular point where I'm happy with the results. And then after that, I would work on, so when that would be on par with my swim and my bike, then I would work on all of them, all of the three put together. And that's how I would train for it, or train for that. That's how I.
Yeah, we need to work on all three legs, so nothing like that. So and yeah, obviously we need to work on weaker part a lot, because you can't just finish the race with your stronger legs. You need to work on your weaker leg as well, because if you couldn't finish your swimming within the 70 minutes in the half Iron, then you can't do the bike or the run. You are actually DNF there only. So you need to work on all those aspects. Any other questions?
No, I think there was only one question in the chat which was telling that what is the value we can derive out of 70.3 Ironman if someone is doing, is that certification help us getting any value anywhere?
Is it is with the ITF, with the so the World Triathlon Federation, it is related with, but I mean, exception to that, if you're not turning into a pro, I mean, it is more like a bragging factor that, okay, wow, I have that much endurance and I have it in me to actually finish that, because it's the world's most grueling triathlon, so I think so. It's the journey, and it's what you have in you, and what you have to finish with is what is more than that tag or a medal. Anyone is actually tag, I that's how I think, because then you are not a person who is a sports person, sportsman, or you like the sports. Then you're just doing it for material gains, and that's just stupid. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're doing it for improving your life, becoming healthier, training for
Right.
a holistic lifestyle and stuff like that, that is what is important. That is what is good. That is what you should ask yourself, rather than asking
Right.
yourself, "Oh, wow, I get a certificate. Will it help me? How will it help me? The value?" No, that's not the question. Ask
It's much more than the materialistic value.
exactly one
Anyway,
point.
congratulations once more, and let's wrap up because I think that Omkar and Huafrid, they will both go for another round of training. Today being Sunday, the weekend, and congratulations once more, and best wishes for your uh,
Need
South
it.
Africa Ironman. Yeah, that's
We need it.
coming up on.
We need it.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
so much.
So
yeah,
yeah,
and I hope that you clinch a gold, and we'll have another round of chat in mid-April, maybe. Okay.
fingers
And
crossed.
okay, all the from the whole community.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much, Supratim. Thank you, Cyclology team, for having us. It was a
Okay.
great meeting.
Chalo.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Bye
Yeah.
bye, Omkar. Bye bye,
Bye.
Huafrid.
You. Bye. Take care.
Tada.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.